Hello, everybody. Today we are going to talk about some properties of logarithms. So, how do we manipulate them? How can we, kind of change up the way a logarithmic expression looks? So just like we had exponent rules, right? We have these logarithm rules as well. So we're going to be looking at three rules here, or three properties. Okay, the first is what we call the product property. And, this can go either way. If I have log base b of two things multiplying, I can split that into log base b of m plus log base b of n. Okay, vice versa, that means if I have two logs of the same base being added together, I can convert that to a single log with those things being multiplied together. So we're going to look at this two ways. We're going to look at what we call condensing and expanding. Condensing is squeezing things together, right? Expanding is pulling things apart. So when I am trying to condense these logs, right, I see two logs of the same base being added together. Well, the product property tells me I can change that into a single log of base 2 by multiplying the 7 and the 4 together here. Okay, well, 7 times 4 is just 28. So that means that condenses into log base 2 of 28. And, we could try to evaluate this. We're not worried about it right now. I'm just showing you the basic properties. Now, expanding is pulling it apart. So if I have a log of 6, we can think of that as really a couple different things. I could think of it as the log of 2 times 3. Or you could do 6 times 1, whatever two numbers you want to use that multiply to 6. But the point of splitting it up that way is now, if I see that this is the log of a product of things, right, two things multiplying, I can split it into two logs being added together. And notice the base originally was 10, so throughout my expansion here, I made sure that my logs kept the base of 10. Now, honestly, we don't do expanding a whole lot, okay? Condensing is something that we do very, very often. So a second rule is called the quotient property. Okay, this deals with things dividing and subtracting. So kind of pair those up in your brain. So again, if I have a log base b of something divided by something else, I can change that into two logs of the same base that are subtracting. Again, that goes the opposite way as well. If I have two logs of the same base that are being subtracted, I can turn that into a single log with those things being divided. So again, condense, expand. So I am condensing here, right? I've got two logs of a base 3 that are being subtracted. So that means I can condense this into a single log of base 3 of 28 divided by, 24 divided by 8. Well, 24 divided by 8 is really just 3. So again, we could simplify that there. We're not worried about it right now. Okay, we're just focused on expanding and condensing. So you could keep going, simplify that a little further. Now, expanding here, we've got log base 5 of 1/3, but just think of it as 1 divided by 3, right? We have something divided by something else. So we could expand this, pull it apart, turn it into log base 5 of 1 minus log base 5 of 3. Once again, we're going to condense a lot more than we expand. So the last rule that we're going to talk about is the power property. Okay, and this one's kind of strange. The power property says if I'm taking the log of something that is being raised to an exponent, that exponent can actually drop down and multiply my log instead. Or vice versa, if I have a number in front of my log, I can move it back up into the exponent position. So condensing here, right, we don't have an exponent in this position, right? We don't have 2 to some power. We just have 2. But notice there is a 5 in front of our logarithm. So when you're condensing, you're going to be taking those exponents and putting them back up into position. Okay, that 5 in front really can be the exponent of 2. Okay, and again, we could simplify, right? We could do 2 to the 5th power and keep going, but we're not going to right now. Expanding is going to be the opposite, where we're taking exponents and we are dropping them down. So this one, I've said that we're going to be condensing a lot more than we expand. The power property here, we're going to be using a lot. So this one, we're going to actually be doing condensing and expanding quite a bit using this property. So this would change into 7 times log base 2 of 8. Now, the reason that we are bothering with these properties is we're going to be moving soon into logarithmic equations, and you need to be able to manipulate, each side of the equation, get things condensed before we can start solving. So that is it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great rest of your day.